Welcome home, where we provide information, inspiration, and motivator after motivator after motivator here on America's Next. I have Michael Santiago here with me today. How you doing, Mike?
What's going on, brother? I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. You look like you're ready to dig into some video games right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, man, I'm pumped, brother. I'm on 1,000 right now. I feel good. I feel good.
Absolutely. I got a question though, right off the top. What do the headphones and microphone do for you when you're either playing games or you're streaming online? What's the big advantage to having that headset?
Oh, well, this is like it's 3D sound, so I hear everything. Things that are under me, above me, behind me, far from me, close to me, you hear it all. And with the mic, it's convenient. See, if I go all the way up, it like kind of mutes me. It just works out better. It's very convenient.
Nice.
Definitely an advanced level of gaming. What's up, brother? You look good,
Hey,
man. What's going
oh
on?
yeah.
I'm
Well,
happy to be here.
for sure. I'm happy to have you on the show. I noticed your gaming page a while ago, and at first, because I'm not a big gamer, I didn't realize that this was something that was a big thing. Now, my children, they watch other kids play games on
Okay.
YouTube and they love it. But I don't do that, right?
Yeah.
And so when I saw you start your channel, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, okay, he's killing that game though. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, what game is that? And you kept updating it. And the next thing I knew, it was like you had a whole community of people playing games with you online. And I find it to be an extremely, extremely positive thing and competitive. So that's where we're going with this interview today. Everybody out there, I appreciate you stopping into the building. We've already got comments coming in. Autumn says, I'm here. Matthew Gonzalez says, hey, bring everybody else into the building. We are in for a great show today because we're not only going to talk about the current endeavors of Mike Santiago, but we're going to talk about his journey. Mike, where did life start for you?
Oh, started Yonkers, New York. Definitely
Okay,
Yonkers, New York. Tough areas in Yonkers. Grew up there. And that's kind of like from there, I did a lot of I learned a lot there. Learned a lot. I lived in poverty in Yonkers. So
really?
yeah, definitely poverty in Yonkers. So
Hold up. Hold up. For
go
those
for it.
people who might not know, what is the scenery in Yonkers? What does it look like? How does it feel? How does it taste and smell? We're talking about Yonkers, New York, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of abandoned places. When I was growing up at the time, there was a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of abandoned houses. Houses are really close in. It looks a lot like it doesn't look like it's not the city kind of vibe. It definitely isn't because it is Westchester, New York, but it is broken down, it's beat down. It's a struggle out there, just like anywhere else, any other tough area growing up around and anywhere in the world. It's
Wow.
tough. It's tough.
Okay. Now, Yonkers sounds like one of those places where they go to shoot sitcoms and movies, and because I mean, when you explain it as a place where people are digging their heels in trying to make it out, digging their heels in trying to make a success of their life, it sounds like the type of place where they go to shoot, stuff like, anything having to do with the locks for one. Let's start there. You know, why
Yeah, yeah.
yo?
Yeah, so yeah, it's funny because a lot of people feel like that, right? Like when I've told people growing up, like, I'm from Yonkers, they're like, "Pff, oh, you're from a nice neighborhood." These are people that have never been to Yonkers. You
Right,
understand what I'm saying? So
right,
you're
right.
right, though. A lot of people that picture Yonkers, it's just that they see Westchester, New York. They
Mhm.
see Westchester, New York, and it's like it got to be beautiful. There's nothing that could be wrong over there.
Right.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Well, when I think Yonkers, when I've heard Yonkers, I automatically think DMX. And
Oh,
and so I think hip hop, was there a hip hop influence in your life early on? Being that you
absolutely.
grew up in Yonkers, talk about it.
And it was definitely the Locks and DMX because if I was really into hip hop growing up, so those were the first artists that
Mhm.
for me made it out. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like they made it out. They were the examples for us. They said it's possible to get out of here. You
Mhm.
know, um
Wow.
so definitely they were huge influences, and we all know like DMX was more like he was so influential, at those times. It just helped a lot, helped a lot of youth in general, and they've done a lot for the community in Yonkers as well.
Mhm.
So goes to show you, like, for sure those were the two like one group and the rapper that I grew up on and I kind of followed when I was living in Yonkers.
Sure. So would you say that hip hop was an agent for you growing up, like something that you kind of got value out of, took lessons, some mentality out of. It was an influence on you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially where you growing up in like in the '90s in Yonkers, hip hop was, yeah, it was tough, but there was a lot of still real educational hip hop going on around that time, you know. So definitely it changed the game for me. It taught me a lot of things in life, you know. It taught me principles, you know, it taught me a lot of lessons that I still live with to this day, you know. And I'm able to teach, you know, to the next generation and the next generation after that. So for sure.
So you're saying a couple big things here. Number one, hip hop and rap was an impact on you, but then
True.
two, you learned some things from it. So can you tell us some of the things that you learned from rap and hip hop music? Talk to us.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things I learned about hip hop, you know, especially like listening to people that was from poverty like me, is the grind. You know, grind. If you want something, you got to push and you got to go get it. You understand? And they will talk about the obstacles that they were facing in front of them. You know, and it was so relatable. I understood it, you know, in and out. So that was the biggest thing that I learned from it was I need to grind. If I want to get out of this, I got to do this and this and this. And pretty much it taught me how to really push, you know, and just be motivated every day and just go.
Right. You know, everywhere you look around, folks and entities are trying to make sense out of life. They do it in the academies, they do it in the institutions. But when you listen to a sturdy hip hop song or a
Right.
sturdy rap song where somebody is taking their environment and synthesizing it into a way out,
Mm-hmm.
hip hop becomes a very magical thing.
It does. It does.
You
You're
know.
absolutely right about that.
Now, do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. I have a brother and a sister. Yes.
Okay. And what were the dynamics like between you and your brothers and sisters growing up?
Well, everybody was totally opposite, you know, totally opposite. So
Oh,
my brother, he's you know, I was really into hip hop and stuff. My brother was into rock, you
okay.
know, but and my sister was kind of into everything. But I guess the beauty of it was learning about different worlds, you know, like different things that people were into, you know, just learn like it literally, you know, opened my mind. I wasn't closed minded, you know, it wasn't just hip hop. You know, if I wanted to find out about a rock song or something, you know, something different, you know, or whether a style, my brother was gothic. So all of those things, meeting different people, seeing people are different, you know, and it's okay, you know, this is all normal. People sometimes look at people differently and it's like that's not the norm when really it is, you know. You just got to open your horizon, you know, like open your mind and just see what else is out there. And that's kind of what it did for me, having like the my sister being a different way, my brother being a different way than me being who I am, and it worked out like that.
How did it work out like that? Were your parents like, hey, listen, you guys go out there, find the music that you like and have at it? How did you have that variety of influences musically going on?
Well, it was definitely confusing. You know, in one room you had my brother
Yeah.
headbanging with some heavy metal, man, and then in my room, you know, I'm there bumping the locks or something like that. So it was
Right.
just a whole. I'm sure outside of the rooms, it just sounds
Mhm.
like a whole bunch of noise. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it was really weird. You know, like it was. I'm sure it was weird for them, but then at the same time, I'm pretty sure those conversations with other people to say, hey, one of my sons is into this, and my other son is into this, and my daughter is into this. It just makes it a lot more interesting. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
It makes it seem like you all are having a good diversity in the home. It's like, listen, don't look at me as somebody who only knows about rap because I'm growing up in Yonkers and because I fit
Right.
the age bracket, because I'm well versed in other forms of music. And what that does is it makes you capable of interacting with all different types of people with all different
Exactly.
types of tastes.
Exactly. And honestly, because of that, because of the dynamics growing up in my house being everything so different, even today as a gamer, it has helped me.
Okay.
It's made me a people person. I'm able to talk to all of my viewers about different things and they be the first to say it. You know, we're able to talk about different conversations, you know, like so many different conversations because I've experienced so many different things because of the different dynamics growing up, you know?
What was school like for you? Elementary
Well,
school. Let's start there.
well, you know, so I'm a short guy.
Okay.
But I was into sports. You know, I've
Okay.
always been into sports. So I want to say school was just like as far as academically, I did amazing. As far as like fitting in, it was always the challenge because they see the short guy want to play basketball. I always had to prove a lot more than everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
know, or if I wear nice clothes, you know what I'm saying? People looked at me like, who is this kid? Right?
Right.
You know,
Right. Right. Right.
everything was a lot more challenging, like a lot
Okay.
more challenging. But again, about, I was real big on grit growing up, like, and grind, and just like, making myself known. People are gonna know who I am. Whatever I do, with whatever I do, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm gonna make myself known. They're gonna remember me. You understand? And
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's kind of like how I was.
Let's talk about this whole height thing. I understand what you mean when you say, I had to deal with usually not being as tall as everybody else. Let's
Right.
unpack that a little bit. I think that a lot of us deal with that, to a degree.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
absolutely.
mind being 6 foot tall. I'm not 6 feet tall. You know, but the funny thing about it though, Mike, is if you talk to somebody who's 6 feet tall, guess what? They wouldn't
Yeah,
mind being 6'3". You
yeah,
know,
right. It's true.
and
That is
so where does
true.
this stop? You
Yeah,
know? And
it's
so what it seems like what you were able to realize was that it's more about taking what I have and becoming excellent with it through practice, through repetition, through sheer desire.
right,
Talk to
right.
us a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about desire. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, so the things that I desire, like, so you just touched on it, and I love that. You know what I'm saying? I love that you said that. You talked about the people that were 6 feet, and then if you ask them, they would love to be 6'3". It's kind of like the disease of wanting more. That's what I always call. It's the disease of wanting more. For me, you
My
know, um, you know, of course, growing up in school, I mean, of course, I would want to be taller. I'm significantly shorter than a lot of my friends. You know what I mean? So I would have loved to be taller, and I desired that, for a long time. But one thing that it taught me growing up was I just love who I am. I love the skin that I'm in. I love myself. And once I did that, this is truthful, and to all the viewers out there, once I began to love myself, I began to progress in my life significantly more.
wow.
Significantly more. I mean, at that point, I just stopped caring about what other people thought, and just worried about how I saw myself. And everything, my behavior, my attitude, my drive, my grit, everything changed. It just enhanced, to another level. And just to touch on that just a bit. But yeah, so
So when was the moment? When was the moment when you decided to love yourself and when you really experienced that sort of mental growth spurt? When was that moment? And talk about it.
I think that moment had to be probably when about 21 years old.
Okay.
21 years old. I want to say when I found out I was about to have my daughter. And like right when I found out I was going to have my daughter, it changed me. I knew that I had to change. Now the question was, how do I do it? And I studied I studied a lot of people that had the things that I wanted in life. And I'm not talking about the materialistic things. I'm talking about just happiness. And even if they weren't really happy, what they showed me is that they were happy, and how they portrayed themselves to be, and how they lived their life, and what they did on it every day. It was something that I wanted. And I asked myself, I said, what is it that they have that I don't? You know? And I see how much they love themselves. They love themselves. I saw little things that they did that I didn't do. You know what I mean? And
Like
that
what?
changed me. Like different things, like keeping themselves, and they weren't like big on materialistic things, but they will keep themselves up to par. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times me, I didn't really care. I was like, oh, I didn't get a haircut for 3 months. 3 months, I would things like that. And it's like little simple things, or making small goals for themselves. That was big. Like I saw that they would do, like, I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna drink 20 cups of water today. I'm going to drink 25 cups of water today. Little things just like that. And I was like, you know what? They're setting little goals because they just want to be better. They love themselves that much. They just want to keep leveling up in their lives. So that was big. That was big.
I think that you are explaining a moment that we all need to cross at one point or another. And if you didn't know that you need to cross this threshold, now you know to look forward to it. There's going to
Absolutely.
come a point in time where you're going to have to become confident in yourself. You're going to have to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
And sometimes when you look around, you could be so much better if you would just take care of yourself.
it's
You know,
true.
guess what?
Hmm.
Are you drinking enough water?
Yes.
Are you talking to yourself in a positive way? Are you encouraging yourself? All these things make a difference.
Hmm.
Are you moisturizing your skin? Some people are walking around not even moisturizing their skin well into
Yeah.
their 20s.
Yeah, it's true.
And
It's
so we
true.
get into a circumstance of believing in self-neglect.
Hmm.
But in order for you to grow into a man, a father, you have to begin to believe in self-preservation.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're talking
Absolutely.
about, Mike.
Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
what it was about for me. And I knew like once I was gonna have my daughter, I said the only way I can best take care of her or be a great father, I need to be 100%. I have to be my idea of perfect. Nobody's perfect, but my idea of perfect. I need to push myself that much. And it was the self-care. It was taking care of myself. It was doing those things that brought me, to where I am today, and so there you go. Definitely.
So you were excited when you found out you were having a daughter.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. I did. I did. I did. Honestly. So, and then, people, a lot of guys, like want boys, and that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with
But
that.
you know what?
I definitely wanted a daughter though. I
Let's
did.
talk about that. Let's talk about that. You know, how has your life turned into more of a beautiful, abundant thing since your daughter became a part of it?
Oh man. I guess you find your why.
Wow.
When you find yourself, when you're finding yourself, you're looking for reasons to do certain things. You're looking for reasons to do, why you should be successful, why you should get a house, why should you get married. You ask yourself your questions, and a lot of people, have the typical answer of that's what our parents put in place for us. That's what we see in the movies. That's what we see, we read in books, things like that, or hear in music. It was a little more complicated, like
Okay.
for me, and my daughter was my why. This is why I want a house. This is
Wow.
why I want to be successful. This is why I want to be better every single day. So you kind of find your why.
That's
Definitely,
phenomenal.
definitely, yeah,
That's phenomenal. I want to encourage all the men out there who have children, whether it be a daughter or a son, is not important. Appreciation for the way that your life grows when you have children is one of
absolutely,
the amazing things that you can possibly possess is appreciation for children. There are people out here who want children and can't have them. There are people out here whose children are lost into the system. There's 444,000 youth in the foster care system today. Be encouraged that if you have a child, it is a phenomenal thing. It's a
it is.
wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the greatest joys in the world is putting food in your child's mouth.
Yep, it is.
You
It
know,
is.
when your little girl, when she needs a new set of barrettes, or your son needs a new set of socks, or they need new sneakers, your ability, because you are going out into the world and getting what you need to get to provide for your children, is one of the best feelings on planet Earth.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely,
so,
it is.
yeah, so I'm happy to hear you say today how proud you are of having a daughter in your life, man. I think that's
Yeah,
great.
man. Yeah, man. It's awesome. It's awesome and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm still
Yeah,
enjoying it. She's now telling me what to do around the house, but it's awesome. You know what I mean?
yeah. How have your traditions changed since the pandemic has occurred with your daughter?
Well, a lot. You know what I'm saying? I guess like it's funny, man. Since the pandemic hit, so much has happened, right? Like conversations are different. You know, um conversations that I have with her are more intense, and it a lot more intense than the conversations I had with my parents when I was 6. You know what I'm saying? My daughter's only 6, so to have these conversations of, hey, you got to put your mask on. Hey,
Okay.
you know, it's just it's different. It's significantly different because as a 6-year-old, the question is always why,
Yeah. Yeah.
why,
Hmm.
why, why. And you don't want to lie, you want to be honest, but you got to be careful. You can't be brutally honest. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, say the worst things that's going on in the world. So things have just been very difficult. I'm sure. I mean, it's been difficult for everyone. This has been something that nobody is used to. It's something that we've all had to adjust to. But as champions, and I consider everybody I'm around a champion. As
Absolutely.
champions adjust. And so things have been changing. Since the
Yeah.
pandemic occurred, for
You
sure.
know, a lot of the time we raise our children with a sense of directness and seriousness because if there's an emergency, I need to be able to keep you safe, right?
Absolutely.
And for several generations, that unsafe environment never really occurred. I mean, some people have a story of when they were a child and a tornado happened and they knew to go and dug down in the basement or,
Mhm.
a side hallway or something like that. Or, sometimes you have a scare where you ran out into the street. But the children in our generation, they have a very unsafe environment that they have to understand and that we have to help them make it through.
Right.
So, this is like history that we're living through right now, you
Yeah,
know?
it's true. It's
And
true.
so I think that it makes us all a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it makes our children wiser. It makes them more aware
Yep.
about safety in general. And so I definitely see a silver lining in all of this. Now,
Absolutely. It's good that you're optimistic about it, bro, for sure, man. Look at the glass
yeah,
half full, opposed to half empty. That's good energy. It's definitely good energy, for
without a
sure.
doubt, without a doubt. Okay, so now what was going on in your life in middle school? You like sports. I'm sure you were fast. Shorter people are typically a little bit faster than other people. I just got to get that
Yeah,
out.
it definitely was. It definitely was. So middle school was actually I want to say one of the best one of my favorite moments.
Talk
I
to
got
me.
to say it was definitely one of my favorite moments. It's when I began to I started like rapping. I was like, oh, I want to be a rapper. I started rapping. But I actually started to I think I just started to open up a lot more and socially. I wasn't social before that, but in middle school I opened up so much socially, and I wanted to learn new things. That was the year where like seventh, eighth grade, where I was just like, you know what, I want to completely like learn everything and anything I can. I mean, we went from Beacon, at 4:30 p.m. all the way to 6 to play basketball. From there, we went to Fordham Road to the comic book spot, to learn about Magic the Gathering and all of these different things. It just opened up my world.
Absolutely.
So it was definitely like the one of the highlights for sure, like of my life, like seventh, eighth grade for sure.
Are you still in touch with any of your middle school friends today?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in touch with some of them.
Yeah,
Definitely some of them.
super cool people, right?
Yeah, man, they've all become super successful, man. Like, and I'm there,
Really?
I'm like, oh, look at y'all, man, that's dope. I mean, like, we were doing it, we're all like, and it's funny because, like I remember those conversations in seventh and eighth grade. We didn't know what we wanted to do with our lives. We didn't know
Right,
where we were gonna go, but, thank God, all of us kind of just made it. We all
right,
made it with the
right.
ones I'm in touch with.
I think middle school was a place where we all decided to be like uber positive no matter what. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
At
definitely.
least like my circle of friends, we decided to just be very positive because you're looking at, your life, you're looking at what's going on, and you're like, hey, people are talking to me about high school, people talking to me about college, people talking to me about life, and I got some legs up under me. How about I use
Mhm.
them to create a success for myself?
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah,
So
I hear you 150%.
yeah, okay. So now we're moving into high school. Is that when you started playing games?
Well, I was already playing video games from before that, but high school, I want to say, because games became more online. It's like when Halo like first came out and the Xbox Live, and you were able to play with people that weren't on your couch in your house. That's kind of when it happened, and gaming started evolving to what it is today. Um, so I want to say that's when I got more into them. That's when I started playing more competitive games where I was like, all right, I want to go up against this person or this person. And,
Right.
I want to say that's kind of where that door opened for me for sure. Like where I was like competitive gaming and playing online. Absolutely.
So I gotta ask you about a few scenarios to see if you were really outside, man.
Go for it.
Um,
Uh
the Nintendo 64.
huh.
Were you and your friends outside with that? Were y'all outside with that?
Well, listen, man, we were Smash Brothers sitting down,
Uh,
arguing, fighting GoldenEye. That GoldenEye was
nice,
like, like
nice.
me and my best friends that they're still over 20 years, what I'm saying, we have gotten to serious, really serious arguments over GoldenEye and Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
those days, forget about it. Yeah. It was a beautiful time in gaming. Beautiful time.
Somehow they created some of the most phenomenal video games on
They
the
did. They
Nintendo
did.
64.
They did. They definitely did. And
What
it's
were you
funny because like back in the day, you see those graphics, and before we were like, "This looks amazing." Now you look
fire,
back at that, we're like, "Yo, like we really love
fire?
this stuff, man." The newer generation don't get it. They're like, "You guys really played this stuff?"
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it was lit. Can you give
yeah.
us your top five games from the Nintendo 64 era? Let's
I mean,
go.
on Nintendo 64, I would have to
Yeah, let's.
say,
We're talking Nintendo 64 right now.
all right, cool. I would have to say, Mario 64 is
Boom.
definitely number one for me. Um, Smash Brothers is number two for me. Um, I would have. Oh, this is a tough one, man. I would have to say, No Mercy, WWF. Like I was into wrestling hard during
Ooh,
this time.
talk about it.
Oh my God, wrestling! I mean, this is when
Wrestling
wrestling
games.
was the bee's knees of the world, brother. This is when
Yeah.
wrestling was what it was. You know, like The Rock,
Hold up,
Stone
hold up,
Cold.
hold up,
Come
hold
on,
up.
man. Like
Hold up,
this is
hold up,
it.
hold up. Shout out to a lot of people. Shout out to Rashawn Davis in the building. I know he's really into wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do some shout outs real quick. You getting a lot of love and support in the building tonight. I
The
want to
rec
let
team's
these
in the
folks
building.
know that we see them.
Yeah, rec
Karina,
team in the building.
Bradley, Melissa,
Yeah.
Matthew,
Mhm.
Jackie, John Torres, Matthew, Autumn. We see y'all out there. We appreciate you. Jenny Lee. Oh, as I've said, Teresa, Jackie, y'all got the building rocking today. You know, and I really
Yeah.
like it. But I was getting ready to tell Mike here, you wasn't really into wrestling if you didn't go to school the next day and DDT somebody.
No. When you push your friend and you say, Devon, get the tables, man. Get the tables.
The Dudley brothers.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
talk about what happened at school, you know, when The Rock won on SmackDown. What happened the next
Oh my
day
God! Oh, that's it. People were getting rock bottomed,
in
the
school?
Stone Cold stunnered. You know what I mean? People were
Yeah,
jumping off the top rope like they were Jeff Hardy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it was a
yeah,
good time. What a time! What a time to be alive, man.
exactly. Shout out
Yeah,
to
definitely.
Drake. Hey, these are the types of moments that make our generation smile, you know? And this is why I wanted to bring you on the show today, because you are in the business of smiles. You are in the business of happiness, and you are in the business of keeping the good times flowing. And we need people like you to
Absolutely.
help us remember the fun, the leadership that comes out of fun, the character that comes out of it, and everything that's next. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more from our man right here, Mike Santiago. So don't go nowhere. Come right back after this brief message.
Appreciate it.
America's Next Motivator. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. America's Next Motivator, hosted by me, Cedric Riley, and sponsored by the Pride Empowerment Network. And we're back. Mike, how you feeling out there?
I'm feeling great, brother. Feeling great.
You know what? We had a real cool comment come in during the break, and Matthew Gonzalez says, if you didn't get tossed on the cafeteria table during lunch, we weren't part of the WWE crew. That's a fact, you know. But, you know, on to the next system. Dreamcast. Were you outside?
Of course, man. Of course, honestly, man, that was I loved Dreamcast so much. That was probably the most disappointing system. It disappointed me, man. It broke my heart, man. It broke my heart only because it should have been more. Well, it was ahead of its time, but it should have been more than what it was. It broke my heart.
It should have been so much more.
It really should have, man. I don't know what happened.
It looked cool. The remote control, the memory card. Remember the memory card?
Oh my God. Yeah. It was like a little it was like a TV, man. A little TV
People used to take it to school. Like,
yeah. Definitely broke my
Like,
heart, man. Broke my
listen,
heart.
not only do I have on a pair of Jordans, I got a Dreamcast memory card in my pocket.
You can like really like people were like carrying that with them, because if
Yeah,
you went to somebody else's house, you just put it in the controller and that was it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure,
The
for sure.
Dreamcast, I don't know what they did wrong. I think
It was marketing, man. It had to be marketing, brother. I think it
think
was
so
marketing for sure. Yeah, it was
because
marketing.
that was when 2K really blasted off. Am I wrong or right?
Yeah, that's when 2K started, man. And
Yeah,
look at 2K now. Look at these
yeah.
games now, right? Like 2K is unbelievable. I mean, it has grown to like some of the top streamers. That's what they stream. They play 2K. You know what I mean? And
Right.
like it's absolute the fact that they can make all of that money coming out with the same, pretty much the same game every single year. They do a little tweaks to the roster, a little tweaks to a juke move, and then they sell it for $70. It goes to show you how big this game is, and it's incredible. It really is.
It's more than just playing these games. It's about participating in a culture that's absolutely huge.
Exactly.
It's more than
Exactly.
just a game. It's a wave. It's a movement.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. So of course you know what's coming next. PlayStation. Let's talk about it.
Well, yeah. Well, listen. I'm a well-rounded gamer, but if I had to say where my love, my heart goes, is definitely into PlayStation. For sure. Just because I think that they have been so consistent with leaving me in awe. That's it. They have been so consistent in just I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed, and the games that I'm emotionally invested in come from PlayStation. You know what I mean? So, and it's been like that my whole life. My whole life. So,
I'm I'm getting ready to
you're about to start a whole.
it
It's an
must be
uproar
done.
in the chat right now. The
It
uproar
must
in the
be
chat.
done. Let's go. Let's go.
If there's any Xbox boys
Hold
in
up.
there, man, it's about to get
Hold up,
crazy
hold
in
up.
here, man.
We didn't even get to that yet. This is where we're at. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh my God,
Who
are you
were
kidding?
you? Who were you?
I was always going like I was Tony Hawk always. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
okay.
I was always
Oh,
Tony
Bucky
Hawk for
Lassie.
sure. Oh my, you were Bucky Lasky?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my dude too.
let's
That was
go.
my, but that was
Um,
a forget about it, man. That game is like it's legendary. Like it's
oh, for
legendary.
sure. For sure.
It's
What were some of
legendary.
your other favorites on PlayStation? Because I think PlayStation is the moment where the video game industry shifted into potentially $1 trillion industry at that time.
Yeah, it did, and it was because I want to say, well, PlayStation 1 was very successful. PlayStation 2 was what really changed the game. So when you ask me what games, like in PlayStation, what are we talking? We're talking in PlayStation in general or
We
PlayStation
didn't get to
1?
PlayStation 2 yet.
Oh, so we're on PlayStation 1. Okay,
Yeah,
well, for
PlayStation 1.
me, I want to say at that time it had to be Crash Bandicoot.
Mhm.
Because I was around that age. Crash Bandicoot, Metal Gear Solid, which I wasn't that good in because I was really young when it came out, but definitely Metal Gear Solid, Crash Bandicoot, Resident Evil, Resident Evil, definitely was like it
And,
changed
and,
the game
and
for
so
me.
then let's talk about this. Is the next thing we need to touch on as well. Arcade games.
Oh, listen, well, Pac-Man will always be what
Ooh,
it is, right? Pac-Man will always be, you know, the granddaddy of it all, right? But I mean, Marvel versus Capcom. I mean, like that was one of my. That's where we used to go to the arcade and just bet quarters with people, man. Just
right, right.
playing Marvel versus Capcom, man, for sure. Like
Arcade. Listen, the reason why I brought up the arcade is because see the arcade entered itself into this conversation. Like, no, you're going to mention me, so it had to be done. But when you talk about Resident Evil, it was nothing like going to the arcade and picking up that plastic gun and shooting at the screen. Am I right? Y'all tell me.
yo, yeah, yeah, it was like it was like House of the Dead, right? Like kind of
Yeah,
like those
yeah,
kind of vibes, right? Like yeah, for sure.
exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So, but speaking of the arcade, picking up the plastic gun, what were your favorite racing games? Where we going? Need for Speed? Where we
Need
going?
for Speed. Need for Speed. I mean, Gran Turismo is always going to be what it is, but Need for Speed. Need for Speed for sure. That you know why? And this is because Need for Speed ties into Fast and Furious. Like when you looked at the movie Fast and
Okay,
Furious, Need for Speed, like that movie made you want to hook up your car and change it up, or or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Fast and Furious got all their ideas from Need for
Mhm.
Speed. We don't really know, but you definitely loved, you loved Need for Speed, right? And you loved Fast and Furious, or Too Fast, Too Furious. You loved those movies, and I just loved the game. It was absolutely incredible, brother. Absolutely incredible.
I think Need for Speed, it made people want to be NASCAR drivers. It made people want to be mechanics. It made people want to get their license. It made people want to go 100 miles an hour for no reason.
It's
So Need
true.
for Speed was a huge impact on culture in general.
Yeah, it changed the game. It changed the game for sure. It
You
definitely
know?
did. I mean, and if you want to talk about like superior racing games, I mean, Mario Kart is always, there. It's always, but Need for Speed at that time when it first came out, there was nothing. There was nothing better than it. It really wasn't. It was incredible, man. It was incredible just hitting that NOS button. You just hit it for no reason. It didn't
Right.
matter if you knew you were going into the wall. You're just hitting
Right.
it, man.
And the way
Sure.
that you literally sped up another 30 miles an hour, you know?
Yeah, it was amazing.
And
It
I
was
think
amazing.
it was the racing games that made gaming overall more technical. Because
Right. It's
one of the
true.
coolest things I remember about Need for Speed is that when you purchased the smallest modification, you could tell the difference in how your car performed. I
It
think
is
they took
true.
that meticulousness,
Uh-huh.
applied it clear across the board.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
If you
saying?
hooked up your car the right way, you would see it. You would see it. You would think the other player's cheating, man. The way they were cutting
Yeah,
corners, and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
incredible. The handling, the
Yep.
it was the tour. It was just good. It was a solid game. That was a
So
that was a good one, brother.
So now this is where we gotta go. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. And feel free to continue down in the chat going fire like you've been doing. The
Yeah,
Xbox. Were you outside with that?
yeah, definitely. I was because it was
Uh,
a
my
change.
mom,
I mean,
my mom is
Xbox.
a part of the episode today, y'all. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up, mom? So,
Yeah.
like for sure,
Oh yeah,
X-
hold on. You know what? Shout out to all the parents that dealt with us sitting back playing video games for hours
yeah.
and hours and hours and hours.
Shout out to them, man. Telling us, listen, man, 5 more minutes, one more. Can we just do
Right,
one more? Yep.
right.
Uh, Xbox, man. Xbox changed the game. I mean, it just changed gaming in general. It definitely did. I mean, you look at online gaming, and though PC's been doing it, Xbox, Xbox perfected it at that time.
Mhm.
Halo came out, and you were able to play online with people. Halo. I mean, competitive gaming. For me, it starts with Xbox for sure. It
Really?
starts with Xbox. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's just for me. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, like Xbox, started competitive gaming as far as like online. Like online gaming. Like I'm playing somebody that lives in another country right now.
Because of
Xbox,
Xbox.
yeah, Xbox changed the game for me for sure. It definitely did that. It opened my it opened my gaming world. It definitely did because PCs have always been expensive. So as a child, what I'm saying, like I couldn't afford a PC. It wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Xbox
Not
was
for
a lot
video
more.
games. You weren't
Exactly.
getting a computer for no video games for sure.
Exactly, right? So like Xbox was clearly more affordable, right?
Right.
And you're able to just play people online from, different states, different countries, like
Mhm.
it changed the game.
So that's
For
what
sure.
that's what the Xbox did for you that the PlayStation could have never done. Is it brought you online.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe the PlayStation would have done it. Xbox did it first. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
that's kind of where it is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Xbox did it first because PlayStation had online, but their servers were terrible. Like it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was no good.
Right.
That's it.
Has
It was no.
PlayStation caught up in that regard?
Absolutely. I think all like at this point, all systems are pretty solid with as far as like online play and servers and things like that. Right now, the issue that everybody has is like hackers. You know what I'm saying? But that's more like of a PC thing. People have like something called aimbot where they don't miss a shot. You know what I mean? Things
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
And also, for those folks out there who don't understand some of the underlying value of competitive gaming. So Mike said that the Xbox got him into competitive gaming. That means at some point you're going to be able to win some money. Are people
Yeah.
out there making a living playing video games?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. People are here out there making so much money, man. I mean, I was reading on an article about this streamer named Ninja where he worked for he was streaming for a streaming platform called Mixer. Mixer ends up shutting down. They had a contract with him, so they
Mhm.
had to pay him out. He got paid out $30 million. Said
Wow.
said if you look at you look at basketball players, football players, ain't getting paid $30 million a year, man.
Right.
So like there's definitely people out there that's making a fortune. They are. They're making a living for sure.
When you look at the way that video game play is being expressed by the younger children, and they do Minecraft and what else? There's Roblox. They do
Hmm.
games like this. Do you see the video game space changing into something less dynamic, or is that just as cool and I just don't know any better?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like my daughter like loves Roblox. So I think the difference now, like with games that kids play now, opposed to what we played, is that we were more emotionally invested in a story. I played games that had a story. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew who the characters were. Like you
Right.
were like emotionally invested into this game because of this person or what happens to this person during the game. Kids now are just playing games just to play games. They play these games, Fortnite, which has no like real emotional attachment, or any battle royale game where you just land and then you play, or Roblox where you just gotta jump over little donuts and then get to the end. There's no real attachment there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
pretty much that's the difference for sure.
Okay. Because Super Mario 64, it definitely drew me in from a story standpoint. Like I was trying to figure out why is this little man running through all these different levels, doing all this different stuff. And you find out there's a whole story behind it. So I definitely
Yeah,
feel you on the story concept in a lot of these games. There's genius in a lot of these games.
yeah, there is. There definitely is for
the
sure.
elements the elements of the story is can be very inspirational for people who are growing up, you know, and figuring out what they're going to contribute to the world. I talked to a
Absolutely.
gentleman named James Gabbard a few months ago, and when he talked to me about his novel sounded like a video game.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
that's how big of a world he created, as a result of coming out of the video game era. So I definitely see it from a story aspect influencing people to continue on,
Right. Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So, all right, now at the same time that you're playing these games and you're getting good at them and you're taking interest more and more, you've also been a college student. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Still am. Yep.
So you were able to balance not
Yeah.
just games, but also maintaining progress in your professional life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm big on just continuing to level up.
Mhm.
Like always leveling up in every aspect and I can, because I'm young, I'm under 30. I have the energy to do these things, like why not do it? I'm big on, you got a moment when you're born and a moment when you're not, right? And in the middle
Right,
there's a dash. What's your dash going to look like? I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So I do everything I can. More importantly too, it sets a good example for my daughter. Never settle, just keep pushing.
right,
Be great, and it's big. It's big for
right.
sure. Big.
So, what did you decide to do after you graduated from college? What was your next step?
Oh, that's the thing, right? I was lost, like I didn't know exactly what to do. So
Talk about it.
it's just a matter of, and the thing is, I haven't graduated yet. I'm still in
Okay,
college. So
okay,
I don't know, even now, like in my professional career, I work with troubled youth now.
okay.
So I I want to definitely, I'm in college for that because I love what I do. I love helping troubled youth. It's something
Mhm.
I have a passion for it. But at the same time, what I do outside of work when I'm streaming, you know, making people smile, giving people joy. That's also a beautiful thing. Like I love doing that too. So, you know, ultimately, where am I going to end up? I'm not sure. But where I am right now, I love it. I love it for sure.
I mentioned foster kids earlier. For those people who might not know or are new to the show, I spent several years of my life in foster care, and I'm very familiar with the child welfare space. And so, when you say that you decided to be somebody who works directly with young people who are in child welfare, that's very important to me, and I find it very admirable that you decided to go out there and do that. Do you find yourself learning from the kids as well as you teaching them as well?
Absolutely. I definitely do. It teaches me what I've learned, even just like this year, because I've been doing it now almost 10 years, and every day I'm there, every new kid that comes in, I'm learning something new from them. Everybody's different. Everybody's there for a different reason. So I've learned, you know, um, I've just learned that, sometimes, it's a matter of not asking what's wrong with you, you got to ask what happened to you. You understand?
Okay.
Like, and that's like I'm really big on that. And it's helped me like in my personal life, like even when I talk to my family or my close friends, when we have conversations, it's just a matter of learning the therapeutic language and just using it across the board in my personal life, for sure.
Absolutely. Mike, what is therapeutic language?
That's huge. Like I guess like I said, when something's going on,
Hmm.
it's just for me it's a matter of thinking like when something is going on, if I'm speaking to somebody and they're troubled, it's a matter of what happened to you. You know,
Okay.
uh what led to this. Everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like if some person is acting out in some way, there's a reason for that. But everybody has history. Like everything
Mhm.
has happened, and without getting too deep, with somebody, you don't want to get too deep with everybody, but you definitely want to help out as much as you can. And part of that is like, maybe just picking their brain a bit. Well, has this
Okay.
happened before? What has happened before? Like things, just a whole. It's a thinking, brother. It's a mindset for sure.
Okay. I think that's key because we can all take a page out of that book, how to have a therapeutic discussion, with each other. And so for you to bring up that keyword, I think was a good segue to just talk about, what's going on in our world today. Are we doing a
Right.
good enough job of checking on each other, making sure that everybody's in a good headspace, And I think we can all use a little bit more therapeutic discussions in our life.
Yeah, it's true.
You
I
know?
agree 150%.
Now, in addition to that, do you play games with the young people that you work with? Do
Yeah.
those two worlds merge at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I'll be playing like I always bring my Switch to work because it's really
Okay.
like family friendly. So, I got a couple of extra controllers, so we might sit there and honestly like that's how I sometimes do my sessions. We sit there, we're playing a game, and that's how we start a conversation, make them comfortable. We're talking here. So what's going on? What happened this weekend? How you doing? And just, it starts a conversation. It just starts a conversation and they open up. It's a good setting and literally like that's kind of what I do every week. I want to say
Okay.
definitely.
So now, before we go into our final segment of the show, I want you to take a few seconds and provide some encouragement to young people out there. They might be in love with video games, they want to be a gamer and all that stuff, but they need some inspiration in the meantime. Can you speak to them?
All right, what I will say to the young people out there that's starting to stream. I've been streaming now for over a year. And when I started streaming, there was a long period of time when I would turn on the game, I would turn on the stream, and I was talking to myself. There was nobody tuning in. There was nobody showing love. There was none of that. One thing I didn't do is give up. I continued to keep going. Every single day I said, It's got to change. It's got to change." And I continued. Said when I tell you I continued to keep pushing. I continued every single day. And I also studied other streamers that were successful. Do the
Okay.
homework. Do the homework. And anything you do the homework. See what they're doing. See what they're doing differently than you. Maybe you can implement what they're doing into what you're doing. Or if you want to just be yourself. It's
Okay.
okay. But just, be mindful that it's not going to be easy. A lot of people are doing it. You know, um just continue to push. Don't stop.
Absolutely. So
Don't
what you
stop.
decided to do was create your own network called Wreck It Mike TV.
Yeah. So what happened was I used to play a lot of like battle royale games, and we used to like really do really well, and anytime I would like defeat an opponent, I would just like scream like get wrecked, like you
Right.
got wrecked, bro, like like things like that, and it just kind of stuck. And I love Wreck-It Ralph. You know what I'm saying? I love
Okay. Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph. Me and the fam have watched Wreck-It Ralph 1,000 times,
Right.
and it was just like, Wreck-It Mike. Wreck-It Mike. That was it.
Nice.
That was
Nice.
it. It just kind of clicked. It
So
definitely did.
what's going on over there at Wreck It Mike TV? How does it work? What's your schedule like? How do you live, perform as a father, a professional, and start a brand like Wreck It Mike TV and keep your fans happy? You got a lot of supporters, friends, and
Yeah.
family who are part of the Rec team. So talk about that.
Yeah, well, it's believe me, it's more complicated than it seems, right?
Mhm.
So I guess how I would do it was you definitely have to make a sacrifice, and you got to think about everything that's going on in your life right now, and what is it that you can pull. And one of the things that I have sacrificed is a bit of sleep,
Okay.
and I'd rather that than time with my daughter. I'd rather that than time away from school.
Mhm.
or time away from I can't mess up at work, right? So it was just the lack of sleep a bit. And the way it worked is I do late night streams the majority of the times. If I ever do something early, it's because wow, like I was able to do it, y'all. Let's do it. Let's push. Let's continue to grow because we are all on a mission. It's not just me anymore. We're all on a mission to succeed, and I love it because the team, they give me so much support. Honestly, man, they give me so much support. I'm so grateful for every single one of them. They know that, like they give me so much support. And we have goals that we have set. I mean, I've set them, but then they've set them with me. Like, no, we got to do this, or we're gonna do that, and we're gonna make it to here. So it was just a lack of sleep, and it's the like I stream late. Once my daughter goes to bed, it's time to stream.
Right.
I can't stream while she's awake. I gotta be very attentive, right? So it was big on that. Me and the family, like we're real like focused on our schedule. Sometimes it might go a little elsewhere, but that's because things happen, right? But right now, and what I want to say is we're growing so fast, and I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that where I am, it's it's now based on. I feel like it's always like a therapy session. I feel
Right.
like when I'm there, not only for them but for me.
Right.
If I'm having a tough day after
Mhm.
the fam, is asleep and we're good, and I turn that stream on, it's time for therapy. Like that's the way I view it. It's time to go in and it's time to tell everybody how I'm feeling, how was my day, make me laugh. I'm gonna make you laugh, make me laugh, get my mind completely off all the things that have happened today that have been rough. It's
Absolutely.
become a getaway. It's become paradise. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It really
Nice.
has. It's
Wow.
become
So,
paradise.
let's unpack this a little bit because you said it's become paradise. I want people to crystallize this concept. All of your adversities in life, your challenges, the highs, the lows, they all culminate into an objective to make your life better. What Mike was able to do was take all those things in stride, have fun along the way, and he decided not just to settle into a regular day in, day out system. He decided to pursue his passion on the side and grow it. And now he's leading a movement that he calls Paradise. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, man. It really is. And you know what? They'll tell you right now in the chat. Rec team, tell them how many times I get emotional, man. I get so emotional sometimes, brother. I get so
Hey,
emotional because, you know, I mean, honestly
it's
said, if we
okay.
had this conversation 6 months
Right,
ago, if we had this conversation 6 months ago, I'd be like, man, it's a struggle out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm
right.
still pushing it. I'm still grinding. Now it's just become a family. It's really
Mhm.
become a family. It went from the rec team to the rec fam. Like it's become a family. Like
That's
I mean,
nice.
I wake up, to messages of good morning. I hope everybody has a good day today.
Right.
Like when that kind of energy, like you,
So tell me something. I want to understand the scope of success that you're actually having right now. It started
yeah,
off with just you.
yeah.
How many people would you say are being impacted by your streams weekly?
In total, man, Matt, where you at? You're gonna have to drop the numbers in there, brother. I got,
I mean,
oh man,
don't be too specific, but don't be modest. I mean, let the world know.
I want to say that. Well, so we're averaging right now in a 3 hour stream. We're averaging easily probably over 1.7 thousand people.
Wow,
So I want to say
wow.
in a week, we probably, I want to say, because a lot of people just come in and out. I want to say about 7,000, maybe
That's
seven
incredible,
thousand,
Mike.
maybe seven
That's
thousand.
incredible.
That's just being like fair. Maybe seven
Yeah,
thousand.
that's incredible. And I
Yeah,
think that we can all take from that. Look what you decided to do on the side, right?
yeah,
It's fun, it's therapeutic, it's a community. You guys are popping. I got all type of comments in the box. These are your folks.
yeah, yeah. The team is
I have
here.
people come into the building as well, but like you have a thriving community, and so this is going to help you, to pretty much make it through any adversities that come your way. I think that what you decided to do was different.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. Big word being cool here. Hashtag cool. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely is.
Shout out to the Wreck It fam. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
rec fam is fun.
Wreck fam. Okay,
Definitely,
it's lit. This will be a place where you can always stop by, keep us updated on the Wreck fam. If somebody wants to join your movement, how can they do that?
definitely. Just come reach out. Definitely come reach out. Like right
Oh,
now, so
where?
like they just come to Wreck It Mike TV underscores between Wreck It Mike and definitely come through. hit the follow button, hit the notification button to find out every time I go live. And just say you popped in from you say they can say they came from you or wherever they came from. They could just say that's where they are. We welcome everybody with open arms. Once they follow, they're gonna get a hashtag with their name. Welcome to the family. No
Nice.
question. No
Nice.
question. A warm welcome. Everybody welcomes with with open arms for sure, brother. For sure.
Mike, we are down to the last 20 seconds. I have 3 questions for you that I need you to answer in mere seconds. The first, what is survival to you?
Survival is for me is overcoming any doubts every day.
What is success to you?
Success is any goal you put for yourself, any little thing you put for yourself, you do. Success. Small steps to big ones.
What is greatness to you?
Greatness is achieving anything and everything you want, man.
Absolutely.
It can be great. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a phenomenal show today. Mike, I want to let you know that I've listened to your journey. I've been inspired by it. I've learned some new things. I heard your perspective. And I want to let you know, I like what you're doing, man. I'm looking forward to more.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I want to give you your crown today while you're still living. Everybody get your crown emojis out there in the comment section. Drop those crown emojis. I'll give you a crown today while you're still living. Put some respect on your name and let you know.
Appreciate that.
You, Mike Santiago, you are America's next motivator. Thank you, somebody there, all right?
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Later on, y'all.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Each and every episode of America's Next Motivator. How you like my turtleneck? It's lit. Has something here for you. All you got to do is stop by just like you did today and pick it up.